It's Memorial Day weekend, 2026. This is a more somber, reflective video. Vietnam Veterans Honor Society, the LZ Peace Memorial. I've never been here before. My dad's a veteran. My uncle, God rest his soul, is a veteran of the Vietnam War. And we're going to spend some time honoring our veterans. Mike Extra Cheese, the Extra Cheese channel. Now the memorial is located here in a park. There's already people here being reflective. We're going to respect their privacy and approach it as time allows. It is Memorial Day weekend, 2026, as I said. Dedicated to those who in harm's way were killed or wounded in defense of the nation. This Purple Heart medal was sponsored by the LZ Smoke Brothers with help from the community. Donated from the Major General John L. Borling collection held at Veterans Memorial Hall. We veterans are grateful to these benefactors for their heartfelt support, which brings peace, honor, and healing to every veteran through the building of this memorial. God bless you all. Dedicated May 30th, 2005. Vietnam Veterans Honor Society. This is kind of emotional. My dad was in the Vietnam War. He was drafted as a teenager in the 60s. I'm the child of a Vietnam War veteran, and I grew up knowing nothing but the Vietnam War. My grandfather was in World War II, and my Uncle Frank was also in the Vietnam War, drafted. Now his story is right before he got married, his draft order came in and they kept it from him until after the wedding. So basically he got married and had to go right into the Vietnam War within days. Now, this memorial stands as a testimony to those soldiers from Winnebago County who made the ultimate sacrifice in a time of great conflict. They served with honor. Their courage was our greatest triumph. Their sacrifice, our greatest loss. Now, being born in the city of Rockford, Illinois, these would have been my neighbors. Not a lot of narrating to do with something like this, but it's important. Founders of the Peace Memorial. I know this man. Are we finding an Italian connection here? I can't give away my last name. I'm not ready to do that yet. But yeah, I've told you before, I am of Sicilian heritage. And look at this. We're going to go up there and take a look. I'm going to step back and pan out a little. You just think, seeing something like that out on the battlefield, coming to land to pick you up, whether you might have been wounded or not, or just to go on to the next location. It was for real, folks. It happened. Let us not forget the sacrifices made, not only in this war, but in all wars. This particular path is called the Path of Honor. A lot of ants on the sidewalk. I don't think they know they're not supposed to be there. Please keep off the wall. Yes. We'll go up to the helicopter and take a look. United States Army. This is the real deal. This is not a replica. This aircraft served.
We welcome you to this LZ Peace Memorial.
Listen.
This Huey, affectionately called the Lady, served with 7 units in Vietnam. To tell you more about the story of the Huey, we'd like to present a short ballad by Mr. Joe Calloway about the Huey and its crews. They served with honor. Wop, wop, wop is the soundtrack of our war, the lullaby of our younger days. To someone who spent his time in Nam with the grunts, I've got to tell you that noise was always a great comfort. It meant someone was coming to help. Someone was coming to get our wounded. Someone was coming to bring us water and ammo. Someone was coming to take our dead brothers home. And eventually, someone was coming to give us a ride out of hell. Even today, when I hear it, I stop, catch my breath, and think back to those days. I love you guys as only an infantryman can. No matter how bad things were, if we called, you came. Down through the green tracers and other visible signs of a real bad day, off to a real bad start. To us, you seemed beyond brave and fearless, that you would come to us in the middle of battle in those flimsy, thin-skin crates, and in the storm of fire, you would sit up there behind that thin plexiglass, seeming so patient and so calm and so vulnerable, waiting for the offloading and the onloading. We thought you were God's own lunatics, and we loved you, still do. We're the fortunate ones. We survived when so many better men gave up their precious lives for us. We owe them a sacred debt to live each day to its fullest. What they're saying when you listen hard enough is this: we're at peace, and so should you be, and so should you be.
I think that says it all. I didn't even have to narrate. I don't think I could have found the words. He said it all.
We welcome you to this LZ Peace Memorial.
I'm sure it's going to be a loop. It's just going to keep
Actually
repeating itself.
Served with 7 units in Vietnam. To tell you more about the story of the Huey, we'd like to present a short ballad by Mr. Joe Calloway about the Huey.
So I just ran into a couple veterans who are part of what they call the little Smoke Brothers fraternity unit. And they tell me that this is all about veterans who have died from exposure to Agent Orange. So this is I call it the Agent Orange Tribute Memorial Wall. These names on here are names of veterans who have gone over there, soldiers that have gone over there, were exposed to Agent Orange, came back and have died as a result. And he tells me they add about, in fact, there were 2 men I was talking to. They tell me that they add about 10 names a year to this wall. 10 names a year from people that have died from exposure to Agent Orange, direct exposure. So that's what this is. This is a memorial for those that were exposed to Agent Orange. Now, Agent Orange was a pesticide that was used to clear away large areas of brush in Vietnam. So in other words, it's a jungle, right? And what Agent Orange was used for, it was to kill the jungle, to make the enemy more exposed to attack. And they did not realize that it was also killing the soldiers. They wouldn't know that till they came back. In fact, you just tell me it was in 55-gallon drums. They would take the Agent Orange would be emptied out of the drums for its use, and then the soldiers would be filling up these 55-gallon drums with water to take baths in. I mean, you're literally taking a bath in Agent Orange. It's just unbelievable. It's just the truth. You know, there's nothing glorious about war. You see the helmets, war is hell. Yeah, war is hell. War is hell. I don't want to trigger off that again. But I stumbled into their area. I'm not going to show it. I'm so glad that back in there is a little a peaceful area where they can retreat to. They have a campfire back in there, and you know, they get together and they talk. I'm going to leave that private as it should be, and I was just very grateful that they were able to share some memories with me. And I was actually quite emotional meeting them and just talking to them. There's things that every child's going to go through growing up with, you know, in a time where someone's coming back from the war. And, you know, the guys coming back, they knew nothing about PTSD. They had no idea what any of it was. And, you know, it is what it is. Those things happen. War is hell. And the family is going to be exposed to it as well. That's just part of it. There's no one going to come back from a war, no matter what that war is or was, and not be affected and affect at some point the family structure as well. That's just part of it. So we're going to kind of walk away from here. I'm just going to keep talking. I'm going to stay off camera for a lot of this video. There's no reason really to be on it. This is all about Memorial Day weekend. That was just an excellent conversation I had with those two. I was very grateful that they allowed me to talk to them like that. This stirs up lots of emotion. In fact, I'm going to stop now. They're down there looking at the wall. Good place to stop. These are some of the fallen Vietnam veterans from Winnebago County. I do my best to keep my reflection out of there. And I have a feeling, I have to ask my parents, I have a feeling, of course, you know, sometimes you actually know or remember. I can tell you that they have a replica of the Vietnam Wall, a smaller version that travels, that has the names of all the fallen. And I can remember it came to the county one time, and my dad taking pictures of names, because he did know some of the people that went over there and didn't make it back. And I remember one of the stories that he would tell me is those who would go over there and think they weren't going to come back, they didn't go back. So he always tried to keep the positive attitude that I'm not going to die here. I'm coming back. And he did. He did. But he said without fault. Well, I mean, without fault every time. Every time somebody said, no, I'm not going to make it back from here, they didn't make it back. And that's something that's always stuck with me in my memory. Just some footage of the area that I haven't been to yet. We have memorial benches, of course. I'll go up here and see what this is. I don't think I made it all around the helicopter. In fact, I'm sure I didn't. There's some stuff back here I haven't seen yet. Let's go see what this is. Obviously, we have a flag, as it should be. Here we go. This is where they burn the flags. Yep, he told me about this. They have ceremonies up here for flags that need to be disposed of properly. So if you have a flag that needs to be disposed of because it's worn, it's tattered, the right way to do it is to, of course, have it done in a military type style. You can bring them here and they will have the flag burning here at this pit right here. Oh glory. How about that? A very calm day today with wind. Old Glory is just kind of hanging there, just looking really good for photo opportunities. So this is our second stop today on our little Memorial Day tour, if you will. A somber video, nothing to really. The emotion is it's reflective. It's a reflective emotion. We are an eternal flame for all veterans. We are now in Loves Park, Illinois. This is the Field of Honor Veterans Memorial. You can actually take a flag here. I just noticed that. I'll do that a little later. Let's see. Honor of flags provided and displayed Rockford Boys and Girls Club. Please take flags from buckets, as you can see, for Memorial Day. We're at the Field of Honor, which was established in 1995. This recognizes veterans from all the wars. World War I, and of course World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, as well as the Persian Gulf War. Very, very well done display. 5 vertical elements stands before you in recognition of all veterans who served in the 5 wars of the 20th century: World War I, II, the Korean, Vietnam War, Persian Gulf Wars. The 8 bronze statues remind us of the men and women of our ethnically diverse nation who served in all branches of the armed forces with honor. They are symbolized by an infantry soldier, a sailor, a nurse, a paratrooper, an Air Force pilot, a medic, a tank battalion soldier, and support service person. The small column containing the dedication statement recognizes often overlooked civilian population deeply involved in the war efforts, such as the Red Cross, Salvation Army, Service Center workers, air raid wardens, and all who worked in the defense industries. The memorial is surrounded by fields of greenery, as you can see, fields of greenery to represent peace and freedom which the veterans have fought to preserve. The hope of this memorial is to convey the highest respect and gratitude to the multitude of individuals who have served their country throughout this century, and to say that the pain of families who have lost loved ones to the war is not forgotten. In return, the bronze statues look out on those who view this memorial as if to say they are aware of the appreciation shown to them by their countrymen, and they are proud of their service to the United States of America. That's just awesome. That is so well versed, so well worded. Talking about the civilians, there's always one thing I remember my father talking about is the civilians are always the ones who suffer the most. You can just imagine waking up one day, standing where we are, even. All of a sudden, a conflict breaks out. Your whole world's going to be rocked. Yeah, everything's peaceful, calm, nice Saturday morning right now, and then everything changes in a moment because war has been declared on you. Artillery shells start to fall. Maybe some soldiers start showing up. All of a sudden, your whole livelihood is threatened. I imagine it's like that in so many different countries that have experienced a conflict. We are really fortunate in our nation, other than, of course, 9/11, we all remember that, and of the Civil War, which was a long time ago, brother against brother, but we've never really been invaded by another country. I think a lot of that is because, well, we have a lot of gun owners in the United States of America, and I think that all the countries are aware of it, and if you're going to have a foot battle in this country, well, you're probably going to get shot by a citizen. A lot of other countries don't have the same liberties as we do, and don't ever take them for granted because these people died for those liberties. Let's walk up here. Look at this. You can walk around it. It's a walkway of flags. There's the greenery that was talked about. It's a beautiful memorial. Quick walk around of it. Take one of those flags home. Have our flag flying, of course, for the weekend. We fly it more in the warmer weather than we do in the colder. Winter will just tear them up. Alright, I'm going to stop this right here. Just get them all in here. Thank you for your service. That's going to do it for today's memorial video. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whenever you watch this, I hope it left you reflective and thinking about all the sacrifice, just so we can have videos like this posted on a format like YouTube, or any format for that matter. Our liberties have all come at a cost, and the cost is the lives of others, and not only the men and women who fought and died in other countries for our liberties, our freedom, but for the families that are left behind as well. Thanks for tuning in.